Gentlemen, we have called you together to inform you that we are going to overthrow the United States government.
And I appreciate the World Economic Forum providing me the opportunity to be on this stage and say, fuck you, Klaus Schwab, and fuck your New World Order. We, the people, were born free, we will stay free, and you and all of your globalist friends, including everyone in this room, can go fuck yourself.
It's time for us to resist. They can't arrest all of us. They can't keep all of your kids home from school. They can't keep every government building closed, although I've got a long list of ones they might keep closed or might ought to keep closed. We don't have to accept the mandates, lockdowns, and harmful policies of the petty tyrants and bureaucrats. We can simply say no, not again. Nancy Pelosi, you will not arrest or stop me or anyone on my staff from doing our jobs. We have either had COVID, had the vaccine, or been offered the vaccine. We will make our own health choices. We will not show you a passport. We will not wear a mask. We will not be forced into random screenings and testings so you can continue your drunk with power reign over the Capitol. President Biden, we will not accept your agency's mandates or your reported moves towards a lockdown. No one should follow the CDC's anti-science mask mandates.
What sort of government is it that can't guarantee a cent, a single cent, for public and affordable housing, but can guarantee $254 billion for everyone in this place to get $9,000 extra a year upon tax? They can guarantee $41 billion for fossil fuel subsidies. They can guarantee $16 billion in tax concessions for property investors, but they can't guarantee a cent for public and affordable housing in the middle of the worst housing crisis we have seen in generations. A Labor member over there just before told me to grow up. Grow up! And if you think that your strategy is to tell everyone in this country it's immature to think that in one of the wealthiest countries in the world we can't put a roof over everyone's head, if you think it's a strategy to call people immature because we think it's wrong that you're raising more money from charging interest on student debt than you are from raising taxes on gas corporations, if you think it's a good strategy to tell everyone in this country that it's immature to expect that while politicians in this place are about to get a $9,000 extra a year off on no tax, we think no one in this country should be forced to live on poverty payments. How dare you? How dare you? And the strategy that you resort to is lying to the Australian public. Now, if you're watching at home, here's the strategy that they're deploying. Here's the strategy they're deploying. They are trying to crush your hope. They are trying to crush your hope. What they are trying to do to you right now is to say this is all you can hope for. And if you hope for anything else, and if anyone comes out and says, you know what, when you can find $4.2 billion for a surplus, maybe we should be spending $5 billion a year on public and affordable housing, you'll get attacked for it. They are trying to bash you down until there is nothing left for you to hope for. But you know what? The reality is that the reason they're doing it is not for technical or policy reasons. There's not actually any reason we couldn't tax big corporations and make sure we build enough public and affordable housing in this country. The private construction industry is in decline. We could be using those skills and construction materials to build public and affordable housing. We could be freezing rent increases, the same that countries around the world have done and Australia has done before. We could do that. But the reason they don't want to do it is because really they're on the side of the banks and property developers who make enormous profits in this country. Here's the deal. In this budget, they're guaranteeing money for property developers and tax concessions to build apartments that when Mirvac built them, Mirvac, by the way, the outgoing CEO of Mirvac, if you're wondering, is also the person they're appointing ahead of their National Supply and Affordability Council. What a sick joke. Anyway, they charged for those apartments 20% above market rent. Above market rent. Above market rent. Well, guess what? No one in this country is going to take that for much longer. And if you think your strategy is to yell and abuse and attack anyone who asks for more, if your strategy is that, and listen to that, you've got another thing coming, because there's enough people in this country now who are screwed over by a political system that snarls and attacks anyone who asks for more, while we've just seen the banks record tens of billions of dollars in profit. If anyone thinks that's normal, and if you're going to go around and call the Greens radicals for suggesting that in a wealthy country like this, the fact that the banks are making billions of dollars in profit while the government can't guarantee a cent for public and affordable housing is moderate, you've got an absolute another thing coming. The only radicals in this place are the ones who think doing that is sustainable. The only radicals in this place are the ones who think that it's okay to give yourselves $9,000 extra a year off on your tax while telling people they have to live on $52 a day. What a sick joke. We had someone come into our office, a woman who had just had her rent jacked up by $120 a week. $120 a week. And this person is on Centrelink payments, unemployed long-term because of a debilitating heart condition, but unable to get on DSP. After rent, bills and food, he literally did not have the money to pay the $70 train trip to get home to be with her. When my team told him we'd transfer him $100 immediately so he could book the ticket straight away and buy some food for the trip, he broke down weeping. Weeping. He spent 2 full days desperately pleading with Centrelink to give an urgent payment. And you stand here and you think that it's good enough to give yourselves tax cuts while this is happening to people in this country. How dare you?
He is the most publicized author on historical topics in the English language in the world. The moment when he came out and said that he now believed that the Holocaust was a hoax.
And now, towards the end of my writing life, I find that I'm having to re-examine one of those other towns, Auschwitz. And it's a very, very painful process because halfway through my writing career, I wrote a book about Hitler, a biography of Hitler, in which I was still a believer. And now I've turned into an unbeliever. And here I am holding up the documents proving that the Hitler diaries are a fake, and a few seconds after that flashlight photograph was taken, I was hinauskomplimenttiert. I was escorted out of the room about this size, in front of the eyes of the world's television cameras, right into the arms of ABC and Good Morning America, so that about 2.5 minutes later I was broadcasting live to the entire United States and completely wrecking Der Stern's chances of ever selling the Hitler diaries over there. It's one of the high points in one's life. And I must admit that at that time, my conviction that that $6 million worth of diaries were fakes was less securely founded than my conviction that I have grown to accept over the last 6 months or so, that the other 6 million fake is also unsecurely founded. I am now more sure than ever that there's something stinks about that episode than I was at the time I held up these documents on the Hitler diaries. I was quite prepared a few days later to believe that perhaps the Hitler diaries were genuine. But no one will ever convince me now that what we are told happened in Auschwitz and Treblinka and Majdanek did actually happen.
That it was Allied propaganda, rehashed over and over again, and unearthed some documents and quoted them widely, that the British psychological warfare decision deliberately in the early 40s launched this campaign to deflect away from Soviet war crimes.
By doing the work in the British archives that the other historians have not done, Paul Norris has turned up the evidence that our own psychological warfare executive were behind the entire gas chamber story. And once again, we're quoting from the archives. They're in the British archives, how the psychological warfare executive decides quite cold-bloodedly and cynically to start putting out over the radio waves the allegation that the Germans have built special gas chambers for gassing the Jews and getting rid of them. And later on in the files, around about 1944, you find the chairman of the Joint Intelligence Committee, who is responsible for the psychological warfare executive, writing a handwritten minute. His name is Victor Cavendish Bentinck, an eminent banker, an industrialist, still alive in England now, Lord Portland as he is now, chairman of the Joint Intelligence Committee, writing and handwriting in 1944, words to the following effect: "We've had a good run for our money with this gas chamber lie. Uh-oh! But really we've got to be a bit careful because eventually it's going to be exposed and then our entire psychological warfare effort will be brought down with it. So isn't it a good time now to distance ourselves from this particular story? We've set the hair running, now we ought to let it go off by itself." A good run for their money in 1944, and here we are in 1988 and that hair is still running 44 years later.
If you're always eating shit from here, you're a fucking idiot. If you're coming to get your food from here, you're a fucking idiot. If you're drinking stuff like this, you're a fucking idiot. If you're eating stuff like this, you're a fucking idiot. If you're eating stuff like this, you're a fucking idiot. If you're eating fucking cereal, you're a fucking idiot. If you're drinking this kind of shit, you're a fucking idiot. If you're eating this kind of shit instead of butter, you're a fucking idiot. If you're drinking fizzy drinks, you're a fucking idiot. Fucking idiot. Fucking idiot. If you're getting your food from the butchers, you're not a fucking idiot. If you're getting lots of eggs, you're not a fucking idiot.
Just like during COVID, all of a sudden, all the authorities just hand over their power, hand over their ability to make decisions to the WHO.
Well, in fact, Tedros Ghebreyesus, leader of the WHO, said this is a new test of their global powers. So they actually came on board and took over, and they did all the wrong things. The people should have been out of their cabins up on the deck so they can no longer be exposed to the virus. They should have been evacuated immediately. WHO puts 2 epidemiologists on. They lock people down. Then when they finally get off at Tenerife in the Canary Islands, what they do is then they put the people on hazmat suits, and then they're hosing them down in this big theatrical display.
I was the one to let you know I was just sorry ever after 74, 75. Giving me more and I'll defy, 'cause you're really only after 74, 75.
There's a very strange substance that is repelled by garlic, attracted to gold. And when you put this substance up to the mirror, you can't even see its reflection. This substance is called red mercury. Now, apparently you can find it like within old television sets and stuff, but according to ChatGPT and everything else on the internet, this substance is fake. But here is the thing about mercury. If you apply electricity and magnetism to mercury, it creates an electromagnetic torus field, a vortex. And if you also take mercury and then attach it to a television antenna, you can actually watch SpongeBob from anywhere in the world. That's right. So when the IRS finally comes after me, I will be watching SpongeBob in the woods in Argentina. But yeah, it can transmit and receive electromagnetic frequencies, which makes you think, maybe that's why they call Mercury the messenger of the gods. Not only that, but they used to suspend the light in a lighthouse in Mercury so that they didn't have to crank it 24/7 and it would just spin round and round and round 24 hours a day. Isn't that pretty cool? Not only that, but Mercury actually amalgamates with other metals, which means that if you put gold with it or any other metal with it, it will literally blend and create a new metal alloy. So with all of this being said, let's think about all of the crazy infrastructure that we see all over the world. The perfect, beautiful geometric patterns with all of these like spires at the top of the buildings. And the geometry of these buildings literally looks like electrical parts that we use today. So it could be a conspiracy theory that these were harvesting energy somehow, but it is also very likely. It's very possible. Just look at the geometry. And these buildings are so much more advanced than anything that we have built today in recent times. So maybe all of these gargoyles and stuff, these hybrid animals, are symbolic of amalgamations of certain metals with mercury. And that's how you could possibly make red mercury. But I made this video for entertainment purposes only.
The donors, the special interests, the lobbyists have very strong power over these people. They have a lot of control over our politicians. And I don't say that favorably.
This is our first Jewish president. We thank you for everything.
You're not going to support me, even though you know I'm the best thing that could ever happen to Israel. You're not going to support me because I don't want your money.
I love Israel. I'm with you all the way. You will be bigger, better, stronger.
And a lot of bad decisions that are being made for the benefit of lobbyists and special interests. You better get rid of the super PACs because they're causing a big problem. We have to get the people of our country, of this country, to love Israel more. That are Jewish people, that are great people, they don't love Israel enough.
I'm sorry, but do people actually pay $175 for a fucking rock? A rock. Oh, it gets better. It's even better. These ones are $229 for a medium-sized rock. Nothing special, there's no fucking gold in it, it's just a rock.
This is what is living inside your fruit, and you probably never realized it. This is an American strawberry, and this is a European strawberry. The American ones are sprayed with pesticides that are banned in every country in Europe because they destroy your hormones. Put them in salt water and wait. And these are things living inside your fruit that the pesticides could not even kill. This is American white bread, and this is European white bread. The American one contains potassium bromate, a chemical that causes cancer and is completely banned in Europe. I put it in water and it does not break down. It floats like styrofoam because your body cannot digest it either. This is American cheese and this is European cheese. The American one is so processed that in Europe it is not even allowed to be called cheese. Real cheese melts. Watch what this does. It burns like plastic because that is what it is. These are American gummy bears and these are European gummy bears. The American ones are full of artificial dyes linked to behavior problems in children. In Europe they use beet juice and carrot extract instead. Look what comes off. That is not food coloring. That is industrial dye, and your children swallow it every day. Many people eating these foods for years feel the same thing. Fatigue, sluggishness, and belly fat that never seems to go away. And it all comes from one place, your gut, the system responsible for energy, digestion, and everything your body is trying to clear. In Chinese medicine, we restore the gut using fermented tea, kombucha, live cultures, and organic acids made the traditional way. But for the millions watching this, I cannot hand you a fermented tonic through a screen, no matter how much you need it. This is why I share the concentrated form in a gummy with everyone watching. Same cultures, same tradition, all in one. Comment gut and I will send you my complete gut healing protocol. And you must.
This is what an 11,000 RPM Gatling cannon looks like. This is China's utterly insane Type 1130 Gatling cannon, and it's got a nifty trick up its sleeve. Firing 11,000 rounds per minute, it's primarily a close-in weapon system to defend warships, used on China's newest carriers. But here's the thing, it can also be used off the bed of an armored vehicle, making it indisputably the fastest firing armored vehicle in the world. I don't think a drone is gonna get past this thing. The system uses a combined 11 barrels, each with roughly 1,000 rounds pushed through per minute. It works with an internal loading system that somehow does this 11,000 times per minute. As for how it will be used in combat, no need to wonder, as China provided us with a rather over-the-top promotional video on how they plan to actually use it.
实现型军舰的最将足球场上的守门员不利将来袭目标彻底摧毁，高效精确的拦截，并以绝对的火力追得并好。
Punta pra cima, punta pra cima, punta pra cima. Pra cima. Pra cima, Miguel. Miguel, vai, pula. Ele vai jogar ali. Miguel! 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 Ei, Miguel! Ei, Miguel, filho do velho!
Well, it has begun. They are officially scanning for water for the data centers.
Hey, broski. Hey, bro. You need some bread?
Huh?
You need money?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Wait, I'm trying to see something. I'm trying to see something.
Psych, boy. You broke as hell, you white boy, you bogus, boy. Use your privilege and get a job. Get a job, boy. You white. You white, boy. You're not supposed to be broke. Come on, man. You 400 years ahead. No, I'm just playing, bro. I was just playing, bro. I'm just playing. Yeah, I'm just playing. Nah. Yeah, I'm just playing, bro.
I'll take the chance.
Yeah. Boy. Go get you a fucking job, nigga. Go get you a job. No, I'm just playing, bro. No, I'm just playing, bro. I'm doing content, bro. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Your ass retarded, boy. You don't even want to grab it.
Why did Rattaki want? This is the Strawberry Cast, dear County Riders, and we are going to give these terrorist democracy. Terrorists.
Sit down. Keep your eyes on the board. The ink is red because the history is bored of your fairy tales and your plastic freedom stand. Today, we count the scars on a stolen land. Take it back to 53, Operation Ajax. But the coup crushed the roots, covering the fake tracks. Then the Velvet January schemes, ripping at the seams, burning down the dreams, leaving nothing but the screams. Sat around the table, brought the olive branch to you. From the early nuclear talks to the pact you tore into, even down in Muscat. Diplomatic talks were bred, you shook our hands, stabbed our backs, left the treaties dead. Point the finger at us, man, check the creator. Built up ISIS, Al-Qaeda, blame the dictator. Fought the terror in the dirt, let them make it cease. And you assassinate the men who brought the region peace. Targeting Hajj Qasem, aiming straight at Khamenei. Think you are the saviors? You're the villains of the day. War crimes are a habit, just a standard routine. Flight 655 blown right out the screen, down to the Ghazni Nab. Innocence is torn apart. Why you paint your face pure with a blackened heart? Blackened heart, blackened heart, blackened heart. 1, 2, tell us the truth. You stole the peace and you targeted youth. 3, 4, nothing but war. We don't believe in your lies anymore. 5, 6, the system is bust. They don't really care about us. Hand in hand we stand our ground. A million voices, a single sound.
Listen close to the alphabet of the crimes they plan. The ABC of the sanctions on our holy land. A is for the assets, billions stolen from the vault, starving out the innocent and saying it's our fault. B is for the butterfly kids suffering in pain, sanctioning the medicine for political gain. C is for the channels, 200 fake facts, funding propaganda just to cover up your tracks. D is for the humanized, treating us like dirt, labeling us monsters just to justify the hurt. These are bullets with no sound, hitting civilians directly. You choked out the science, the banks bleeding the economy, funded by dollars to keep us divided and trapped in the dark. You build up a wall so truth-seeking Americans miss the mark, cause it was never about rights, never about care, only about the oil and the power in the air. Israel first, grab the land, hold the crown, push the rest of the Middle East deep underground.
1, 2, tell us the truth.
You stole the peace and you targeted youth.
3, 4, nothing but war.
We don't believe in your lies anymore.
5, 6, the system is bust.
They don't really care about us.
Hand in hand, we stand our ground.
A million voices, a single sound. A million voices, a single sound.
You call it foreign policy. We call it a crime scene. Class dismissed, now go rewrite your textbooks.
So you got no drink, no smoke, no nothing? I mean, you smoke pot with Rogan.
I had one puff.
Yeah.
I think anyone who smokes pot can tell I don't know how to smoke pot.
But you've admitted that you have a ketamine prescription.
Yeah.
What's that for?
Well, I mean, it's pretty private to ask somebody about a medical prescription, you know. But I think it's something I'd say, like, there are times when I have sort of, I don't know, like a negative chemical state in my brain, like depression, I guess, you know, or like depression that's not linked to any negative views, and then ketamine is helpful for getting one out of a negative frame of mind. Depression that's not linked to any negative views, and then ketamine is helpful for getting one out of a negative frame of mind. Ketamine is helpful for getting one out of a negative frame of mind.
Dr. Collins, you and Ralph Baric and Tony Fauci deserve to be in prison for the rest of your lives. You have so much blood on your hands. I hope you sleep well at night. And remember the name Brianne Dressen, because you left her stranded after she was severely injured by the COVID vaccine. In your study. Yeah, you do know. Her name is Brianne Dressen. Have a good night.
Have you heard about the Red Shoes Club?
Vamos falar pouco sobre o que significa vazio e mente vazia. Vazio em si, não é vazio dos átomos.
The United States is owned by foreign corporations. Nixon opened it up for foreign trade. And when Nixon opened up for foreign trade, the people of Europe and the common market in Spain and different places, they don't care about the United States forest. And in short, the United States has been sold out by people who really don't care for anything but money. I've had all the money in the world 3 times. I had to give it back to keep the game going.
What game?
The game. It's a game. Money is a game. It's only real to the people who work for it. The people that don't need to work for money, it's a monopoly game. It's a game of paper. It's all on paper. I've got a production company, and I've got a recording company, and I've got a mansion in Beverly Hills, and I've got Rolls Royces and Ferraris. I've got everything money can buy, but it's all on paper. Everything's done through the companies and through the tax loopholes, and the people that live on that level, they don't care about the average honest mule that just goes back and forwards to work. They don't care about the children that are in the streets that are thrown out of this upper echelon of existence. And then when all the children fall down into me on my level, I pretty much identify with them because I was a throwaway also. So it goes to the point of, do you really care?
When you said...
And who does care? And if anybody cares, they're considered crazy. I've been 15 years in the nut ward for trying to stop the trees from being cut down, from trying to rearrange a lifestyle of a bunch of people who don't want to change. But they're going to change because the cold wind is blowing.
You got punched in the face by the Fresh Prince.
Tonight, history was made on the White House lawn as humanity made first contact with extraterrestrial life.
His name is Zorg. He is an extra cholesterol.
President sat down for what was meant to be a historic, peaceful exchange, but quickly realized...
He's here just to fuck with me. Who sent you, Putin? China? I saw the documentary. Independence Day.
Destroy it! Zorg the alien caused a chaos of destruction before sabotaging the president's teleprompter.
America so shit. The shittest. Zigzags, Pineapple Moon, Zorg is life, Earth sex.
He is currently missing.
Y ya, se divirtieron y ya lo dejaron ir los hijos de la chingada.
Can you not record? Why? What's going on? You don't have an active membership, so we gotta ask you to leave. You ask me to leave? Why don't I have an active? I just paid for my membership. What are you talking about? No, somebody from corporate. Can you not put that in my face? Go ahead. Well, the cops are on their way. So what's the issue? You don't have an active membership. I paid for my membership. I've been here for 3 years. Membership's not active. What's the issue? Is there an issue? Can you not record me?
You tell me, what's the issue?
Can you not record me?
What's the issue?
I already told you what the issue was. Your membership's not active.
My membership's not active. Why isn't it active? Clarify for me, I'm not sure.
Did you scan into the club?
Mm-hmm. Yes, your team let me in.
No. What I'm telling you is that your membership is not active, so we call the police because you're trespassing. You're in the club because the membership's not active.
Is the problem the shirt? Or is it the skin color?
You just don't have an active membership, so right now you're trespassing because you're in the club without an active membership.
You know where there's no more gyms left? In Palestine, because you guys bombed them all. So I thought, maybe I'd come here and get a good workout in, I've been a member here for 3 years. Payment goes through every month. Are you offended by the shirt or by the fact that you guys kill all of the Palestinians in the gyms over there?
Your membership isn't active. We got to ask you to leave.
Is the problem the shirt?
Your membership's not active. We got to ask you to leave at this point.
All right, I'm gonna have you hang out here while I do my workout.
That's the other way, so.
Hey, officers, that was quick.
You want to sit down for me?
Sure. All right. How you guys doing?
Good. So what's going on today, Ryan?
So there's a Holocaust in Palestine. Israel has killed 300,000.
I'm not talking about that. I'm asking what happened with staff today. Did they ask you to leave?
So one person checked me in. Another lady told me you have to take off that shirt. And I said, well, I don't really think I have to take off the shirt. So I came up here, and the manager said, either you leave, or we're going to call the police. And I said, you're angry about that, but there's no more gyms left in Palestine. You guys bombed all of them.
Okay, but they asked you to leave, correct?
Yeah, he told me he's going to call the police.
All right. Did they talk to you before about this?
No, they've always said that, like, oh, that shirt is offensive, or, it's typical Gilbert white supremacy stuff, Okay.
All right. So at this point, obviously, you're trespassing. You know that, right? All right. So you are going to be arrested for trespassing, okay? Placing it behind your back.
Sounds good. So I put the phone down here?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to hit stop on that really quick?
Go ahead.
All right. Free Palestine.
Whichever way you look at that, your brain will tell you that the long end is nearer to you. Now, it is nearer to you now, but now I'll put it back near my body. Now it's nearer to me, but it still looks as if it's nearer you, doesn't it? Because you're used to seeing things bigger when they are closer to you. Now, here's the spinning motor. It's simply a piece of cotton thread tied to this corner and tied to the other corner, and I've wound it around in my fingers so that when I let it go in a moment, it'll unwind, the thread will unwind, and you'll see the thing spinning. There we are. I'll hold it at the same level as your eyes, and we'll let it go. Now, you know that it's turning around in circles. In fact, if you look at it from above, you can see that it's turning around in a circle. But now your brain is doing something strange. It's telling you that it's not going around in a circle, but it's oscillating. In other words, it's turning part way, stopping, and then going back the other way. Now, that's a strange effect, isn't it? But if you think that's strange, wait till I add something through the middle. What am I going to add? Well, I'm going to add a ballpoint pen. And to do that, I've placed a little piece of double-sided sticky tape on the ballpoint pen. You can use ordinary sticky tape if you like. I'll place it right through the center of the window and press it in place like that. Now this time, by fixing on the pen, you'll be able to see that the pen is going around in a circle and not going backwards and forwards. But what's your brain going to tell you about the window? Will your brain allow you to see the window going around in a circle with the pen? Or are you going to see something really strange? Well, have a look at that. That's unbelievable, isn't it? You can see the pen going around in a circle, but your brain is telling you that the window is going part way around and turning and going the other way. And yet in order to do that, the two things have to pass through one another, the pen and the window. You know it's not possible. You know it can't happen. And yet as you look at it, you see them going through one another every time they go around. An amazing illusion, the Ames window.
Look, that's our ship!
Purple!
emergency message. Outbreak of the deadly virus is spreading rapidly.
A virus?
A worrying new challenge in efforts to contain the hantavirus.
All we want right now is to feel safe.
For now, nobody is being allowed off the boat.
All ships must remain at sea.
Have fun! My booze!
It's the same disease that killed Betsy Arakawa, the wife of late actor Gene Hackman.
According to the newspaper, FEMA was called out to manage an outbreak of the hantavirus. I'm saying it wasn't the hantavirus.
They're buying it. They're buying it.
Your father and I were recruited for a project. They told us it was biological warfare, a virus.
What killed those men?
A silent weapon for a quiet war.
It is will against will. Each predator fighting with a ferocity shaped by hunger, pain, and the refusal to surrender. This is no clean battle with a clear end. It is a brutal deadlock, each predator fighting not just for food, but to make the other give up first. Once again, the bear moves toward the carcass, drawn forward by hunger and persistence. And once again, the tiger attacks. Exhaustion weighs on every movement, yet still it refuses to yield what it fought so hard to keep. Now the bear commits completely. No more hesitation, no more testing. It throws its full weight, its full strength into the fight, as if understanding that only total force can bring this struggle to an end. Now the bear has the upper hand, and exhaustion is beginning to show in the tiger now. It was built for sudden force, for speed, precision, and brief violence, not for a drawn-out struggle where every second drains strength and every exchange demands more than the last. The bear, by contrast, is built for endurance, for pressure, for staying in the fight long enough to let time and effort wear its rival down.
An armed loser looking for the easy come-up, but in this situation, he probably would have had better luck buying a lotto ticket, because today's not that day that he's going to be coming up as Hector steps in, puts in that chokehold. Little dangerous, though. Luckily, that firearm didn't go off, and now it looks like Hector's twin brother's stepping in. Felipe's like, you want to rob this place? You got to go through me and my brother, asshole. And we're known as the Smash Brothers. Now squeezing this douche nozzle like a ketchup packet, but instead of ketchup, it's nothing but soy piss squirting everywhere while this guy cries like a little bitch. What happened to the tough guy? We live in a world where evil is good and good is evil. Hopefully these guys don't get in trouble for holding down the suspect, knowing how the justice system is so reversed and f***ed nowadays. Kudos to the heroes for sending us a solid reminder that good people still exist in this world, while simultaneously warning criminals that if you want to f*** around, you're gonna find out real quick. Everybody's sick of the crazies blocking people on the road, so they end up taking it into their own hands and end up taking a golf swing at these douchebags. And this guy's now getting disciplined, getting spanked like his daddy should have done years ago. And now going at it, playing whack-a-mole as this guy does the crab walk. My God! Well, if you think you have enough courage to throw a shoe at an ostrich, you better think again, because they'll end up sweeping your leg and nearly put you in a body bag for your efforts here tonight. My Billy Badass tries to save his homie from the cop, ends up getting cop blocked and sent into the depths of friggin' shaking fake dusty ass hell. What was he doing? Taking his shirt off so everybody could see his soy titties? Instead he scores a cop block-a-doodle-doo and end up going down as one of the greatest Ludacris cam moments of our time. No pun intended. And now a word from Ludacris.
Bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way.
I don't know about you, but if somebody's kicking on my door and saying open the door, you best believe I'm gonna come out with a friggin' 2x4 and crack saw dug in your friggin' ass into the depths of hell. Dimitri on the left, Ivan on the right, taking a shot to the dome. Dimitri's trying to get the other passenger out as his road rage continues. And my God, this looks like a scene out of GTA Liberty City. It appears Ivan's like, I've had enough of this shit as he snaps into their friggin' chin like a beef Slim Jim. Corn-fed Fred coming out of the Regal Beagle bar. Now he's wondering if the alcohol's kicking in as he spots something off in the distance. And of course it's Pookie the Crackhead once again. Comes out of nowhere and lands in the perfect spot. Parks his ass right into the handicap zone. And now it's time to add Pookie to the Ludacris Hall of Fame.
Bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way. Oh, bitch.
Well, in Paraguay, people are just about sick of the criminals as we are here in America, but out here in Paraguay, there's ramifications. Holding on for dear life as he battles a slippery soy piss, but booyah! It's no match for the People's Justice Vehicle. And now word from Ludacris.
Oh, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way. Oh, bitch.
Despite the excitement of stovetop stuffing waiting on the dinner table for this driver, he's still well aware of his surroundings. Like these douchebags who are exiting the car, it appears they're about to do a carjacking here, and not today! Booyah! It's a move, bitch, get out of the way escape plan, and man, he is just taking them on the scenic route. They're getting to take a look at the city, and now getting a nice 360 view of it as they spin out. My God, now it's time to take a quick look at the Ludacris cam.
Move, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way. Move,
Well, it appears we have a low-life thug walking up to an unsuspecting victim and now robbing them. You can see this truck is stopping. He's not quite sure what's going on, but it appears he's just waiting in the cut for some reason, in shock, whatever, and now he's on the run, thinks he's gonna get away, and booyah! Karma is served instantly with a little bit of spicy instant justice. My God, he flew back like a friggin' superhero. Now, I can't tell at the end if the truck actually hit him on purpose or he was swerving out of the way. Either way, karma and instant justice gets served. A nice fatality, and booyah, gets slammed into the wall. Leaves nothing but a trail of soy piss and feces behind as we take a look at the Ludacris cam.
move, bitch. Get out the way. Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way. Move, bitch.
You know, it never fails in these types of robberies. Guys get on a bike, they try and rob the guy in a car. The guy in the car says, you know what, I feel like getting home tonight. You, on the other hand, I don't really give a shit about. My God, he just rolls right through him. He's like, dude, I've got stovetop stuffing I've got to be home to, and you're not getting in the way of that, buddy. And booyah! For this reason, they score themselves a cameo in the Ludacris cam.
Move, bitch. Get out the way. Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way. Move, bitch.
If you've followed me, you'll know I over 30 years in research in the pharmaceutical industry and biotech. I trained in toxicology and I worked with colleagues designing experimental molecules that we hoped would become medicines. That gives me the credentials to stand, as it were, in the shoes of the designers of these vaccines and answer the question, what were you thinking when you made these design decisions? Now, you can go and watch any of my interviews, but I'll cut to the chase. And you may not believe it, but I am sure, not slightly, but sure, these materials were designed intentionally to harm, maim, and kill, and to reduce human fertility. That is my verdict, and I can stand it up. I will be in court, Supreme Court in Costa Rica very shortly, and I'll be using exactly this argument, but I will give the detail. That's the first point. So don't take these injectables. Don't take the next lot either. They will also be designed to harm you. All mRNA-based materials are dangerous. Don't take them.
Here's how to know if you've been eating fake lab-grown beef or real beef. They are not going to label it lab-grown or synthetic. That would scare you away. Doctors are not allowed to share this to the public, but I will tell you right now, make sure you share this video to your loved ones before it gets deleted. Listen to me carefully. They use softer words that sound almost natural on the label. The words you need to watch for are finely textured beef, extended beef, or cultivated meat. If you see those phrases on the label, put it back. That beef was never part of a living, breathing animal.
Well, it's been an ongoing issue at this store. This old pervert walking up to unsuspecting women and violating them by spooning them. But not today. Not on Frederico's watch as he drops old man pervert Withers and puts him in a freaking corner where he belongs. So one day, Lupe was just minding her own business when a pervert walked by and groped her, and she decided to take the law into her own hands because her government ain't gonna do shit about it anyways because they protect douchebags like this. And she continues to beat down Buffet, handing out McKnuckle sandwiches generously. Hey, lady, back the hell off. Where the hell were you when Chester decided to grab Lupe when she was minding her own business? Now step aside and let this woman give this man some dental work that he so desperately deserves.
So Gusto the pervert thought it would be a good idea to walk in the store, pull his pants down, let everybody see his junk. Either he's looking for his proctologist and he just got lost, or we just need to make asylums great again like Carl Winslow here, who goes from giving Gusto a courtesy tap to a courtesy nap. My God! Not to mention the pimp struck follow through here.
Some people are able to go out and have fun and drink and socialize while others become perverted Harvey Weinsteins. But not today. Not on Scary Jerry's watch as he gets dropped into the ground. You know, even if this footage looks like it was shot with a potato, it serves a good purpose for all you perverts and sexual predators and Harvey Weinstein-looking motherfuckers. You may have gotten away with sexually assaulting women in the past, but not today. And in the past, we've seen videos where females fight back and beat the living shit out of the sexual predators. But today is not that day. No, today is the day she brings her spouse out to do the beatdown for her. And her man's about to take center stage. He's like, how about you try that shit on me, huh? Smack my ass. You know what? Better yet, how about I beat your ass into oblivion? And now delivering a beatdown season's greetings for this asshole on the ground. Well, one day, Jimmy the Pigeon stumbled across his old buddy, Felix the Cat. And of course, leave it to Jimmy the Pigeon to do what he always does when he finds Felix sleeping, teabag his face. Not today, as Felix the Cat sets up a 6-piece combo.
Here's how this data center's generator starts up in the morning in Florida. Notice the constant stream of heavy black smoke. Remember how just a few years ago, using electricity and diesel caused climate change. But now data centers use as much power as cities, and it's no problem.
and I'm reading about Trump's new ballroom announcement. And well, let me just read the specs out loud to you, okay? Because Oracle's underground facilities in Jerusalem were 90,000 square feet and cost around $319 million. Trump's ballroom is about 90,000 square feet and $300 million and climbing.
Let's hone in on something real quick. The executive office and the executive privilege involved in building it underneath the White House would exempt it all from congressional oversight, from any oversight whatsoever.
Conspiracy theories are entering a dangerous
Information is the oxygen of the democracy.
There's so much evidence out there that even if less than 1% is true, that would be enough to collapse the current paradigm and change the whole planet.
This is what the ballroom actually is all about. And this is what it actually is it's not a ballroom. That's not what we're talking about. We are talking about the emergency presidential suite of underground shelters underneath the ballroom. And it's about to become a lot more than just a bomb shelter. Okay. There's been a bomb shelter. I had a Wikipedia open about it. Yeah, there's a Wikipedia page for it. The PEOC, the Presidential Emergency Operations Center, it's been around for a long time. It was remodeled after World War II. The bunker itself was originally built during World War II to protect the president. And famously, actually, we all know that during September 11th, Dick Cheney and a couple of the wives, a couple of the senior staff members were actually moved into this bunker underneath the White House, underneath the East Wing, to protect them from the Islamic terrorists that nobody saw coming. Oy vey. That's cute. They just needed to make sure that Dick was safe in the basket. Well, Donald Rumsfeld patrolled through the wreckage of the Pentagon looking for anything he could tie to Saddam Hussein so they could hit Saddam. I'm getting distracted on a tangent, though. The ballroom underneath will house the most advanced secure military bunker complex system in world history, to include medical facilities, a hospital, biodefense system. Its features missile resistance and blast-proof structures, top secret military applications to protect from drone swarms, hypersonic threats, and other modern attacks. These details were exposed in the lawsuit. It dwarfs the White House. The ballroom, the opulent shed that sits on top, was halted by court order, not the bunker system. So why the sudden urgency? So this post actually has more depth than we need right now, because it's bringing up an important point that has been puzzling me for quite some time now. We'll come back to this question, this puzzle. The court order that halted construction, that Trump is all up in arms about, right? That's the reason why we need to build the ballroom now. The court order that halted it explicitly did not halt construction on the underground structure, on the whole bunker military installation top secret complex. That's all still greenlit. That is not stopped one bit. That's allowed to continue, never stopped. Just the ballroom up above stopped officially. I think I understand why the urgency and why that's still a huge problem and why we need this ball. I think I understand. But you might be like, oh, source, trust me, bro. Source? You might be the retard that does that because you don't read the news. You don't know the news. You don't understand. The source is Trump himself. Okay.
President Trump saying the planned White House ballroom is ahead of schedule and under budget. The president showing new renderings of the project yesterday and providing some security details about the structure too.
We have drone-proof roofs, ceilings, everything's drone-proof and bulletproof. And unfortunately, we're living in an age where that's a good thing. Now, the military is building a big complex under the ballroom, which has come out recently because of a stupid lawsuit that was filed.
I don't like it. It's stupid. So yeah, source Philly, I completely made this up by listening to the President of the United States of America describe it. As for the Mossad allegations, we'll talk about that shit in just a minute. The Leah Files, she does great. Why am I not following her? She does great work. She's a gangster. What does she do? She comes from a auditing CEOs and corporate executives background. So she's been doing some really great analysis of Erica Kirk, everyone's favorite CEO, Erica Kirk. So not that we needed more evidence of what's going on below the ballroom with the data center cooling contract and the SCIF data center supply chain donator list, but that is the foundational layer. The operating layer of what the data center is going to do, well, that's where the real concern is. So she's actually jumping ahead. You're jumping ahead here. Leah understands more than whatever that Siegel account shill understands. So I think we need Dre to fill us in before we jump all the way into the fact that there's SCIFs and cooling contracts and all of this, because if you don't understand the fact that it's a data center, none of that really makes sense.